is blinking up, a very direct and intuitive inside right here with a button. What we always wanted, what we always cried for, the rear wiper. Welcome to Cars in Korea. I introduce newly released Genesis, Hyundai and Kia cars. As you saw from the thumbnail, I have Ioniq 5 facelift, but for the first time ever, there is the N-Line on this model. Not only the Ioniq 5 got the N-Line, but there is also Kona EV that's got the N-Line finally, and there is a whole new video on it too. Feel free to check it out on the card above and pin comment below. So let's get inside Ioniq 5 facelift N-Line. For your information, you can only get black monotone for the N-Line, as all of the N-Lines has been. Just look how clear, vivid the digital side mirror is. Wow. All right, so the ambient lights, you can follow the video. You can check it out on the speaker. It's on the armrest. It's got the red stitch, of course, all around. It's all about the N-Line, right? So even the steering wheel, I know before looking at it, it has the N-Line stitch essence all throughout. Even the N-Line got the N steering wheel. This is what we have seen from Ioniq 5N before. But wait a minute, no way. I don't actually recall this button being this type of finish. It has actually somewhat gloss finish. You can probably see it on the video right now. It used to be just a matte red, if you will, on an Ioniq 5N, if I recall correct. But it's got the gloss finish and it looks much more luxurious and elegant. Love that. This is the universal island, and you can immediately see that there are frequently used buttons are now inside right here with a button. Finally, the ventilated seats, the heated seats, heated steering wheel, all of these buttons that you actually use very frequently. I think I use this button every single time I hop inside the car, regardless of the weather. Ventilated seats for the summertime, heated seats and steering wheel for wintertime, right? So that of course comes in super handy too. And right there, the 360 view cam, and it's also using the facelift wheel design right here too. I love that design touch. I've gone through all about the interior on my previous Ioniq 5 facelift video, so feel free to refer to that. It's essentially the same except for the different colors and finish around the car, the massive charging pad for the smartphones, and love that pixel finish everywhere. Wherever possible, Hyundai actually tried putting the identical number of pixels in cars. So for example, Ioniq 5, you will see 5 pixels where necessary, which was also found on the digital side mirror that I showed you earlier, right? This is iPhone 14 Pro Max I have, and there we go. No problem of fitting, and it recognizes the phone right away. Also, the animation showing the phone is currently being charged. Very direct and intuitive, and this I actually saw it for the first time on Tucson facelift. Now it's been implemented on all the other Hyundai Motor Group cars, it seems like. So this tiny things is what actually a facelift is all about. Right in the middle, guess what that is? There we go, just like so. So again, I have the largest phone out there in the market with the case covers around it. So it's actually very tight. Only half of the smartphone is going in, but if you have a regular size smartphones, it will fit in there, no problem. You can probably store your credit cards here too. Massive cup holders, you can fit tumblers, no problem. I can actually stick my cup holder handle, the tumbler handle, sticking out this way. If you bring your tumbler everywhere like I do, you guys know precisely what I am talking about. N-Line specific seats with the N logo engraved in the middle and red stitch all around. And you can use these buttons to slide the seats back and forth, tilt it. And this is a button for relaxation seat mode, just like that. Just press hold this button and the seat will go into the relaxation seat, so-called the zero gravity seat. And this was also standard on the pre-facelift model. It's there with the N-Line. And do not forget about the vision roof. That is the best part by far. A friend of mine recently got the Ioniq 5, and I strongly encouraged him to get the one with the vision roof. Because you see, this sure is one of a kind experience that you can only get from Ioniq 5. And it's even better with the relaxation seat mode enabled, just like so. let me just test it out myself right here too on the driver's seat. And I already know, I tried it several times already. This is super cozy and comfy. And you see, I really love the thigh support right here. It just really gives me that relaxation mode that everybody needs. You tend to spend more time inside your EV. The car, due to the nature being, right, you can actually have the V2L, you can have all of your electronics running inside the car. This type of relaxation seat, it really comes into a big play. Absolutely love the wheels though. That is the best part by far. So the front garnish hidden lighting here on the N line is actually N line specific. So instead of the vertical two lines, double lines that the facelift model has gotten, you see it's the pixel design lights everywhere. And that is actually something that none of the Ioniq 5 models have gotten thus far, including the Ioniq 5N. I really like this design. This is gonna be N line specific. And I'm curious if there is any of this on the Kona N line, but I doubt that. We'll soon find that out too. So there is that winglet design, iconic design from the Ioniq 5N. You can see there is the side-by-side comparison for you. So there is no winglet design on a regular model. If you take a look at the far one on the rear, side-by-side. What's also different is that there is no pixel designs right here that was on a regular model. You see, the active air flap is actually split into two portions when you take a look at this compared to the regular model. So there is the active air flap underneath right here. It was really flush with the regular model, but it is somewhat very prominent, kind of showing that there is a hidden active air flap right in the middle, and there's another one in the middle. So both of these would actually open up and close accordingly to the condition when necessary. And that N-line badge right there showing, saying out loud, it's an N-line. Unless you are absolutely interested in these cars, you know a thing or two about the Ioniq brands, I don't think you'll be able to tell that much of a difference N-line versus the regular right there. I also want to check and see if the blinkers are different by any means. Nope. So it is the same thing. So that is the 5 pixels with this omnidirectional light, just like the fog lights that shoots out everywhere. So it is actually very visible from a distance, as you can see, especially that tip, the very last light bulb right here. It's really bright. Come check out the rear design. This is straight from the Ioniq 5, and we've seen that. I've seen that design before. I'm curious if it's gonna get over fender. Nope. Because when you open up the door of the Ioniq 5N, you actually see like 30% of the rear tire by opening up the rear door, but that's not the case with the N-line. But still, there is that N-line design, the duct right here. Well, it is closed. There is not much of a function, but just look at that straight vertical rear reflector. That is going to look real badass during the nighttime when that reflects up. Also, do not miss out the rear diffuser. It is actually quite flush. It sits all the way connected like that. So I'm pretty sure it would be quite practical with having all of the diffusers sitting like that. The fin is not too crazy, too aggressive. For your information, when it comes to the EVNs, Ioniq 5N, the strip you see right here, it's not actually red. It's orange. I think the name was called Voltronic Orange, if I call it correct. I'll be including the precise name right now. That strip is actually not here with the N line. Would it been nice? Maybe, maybe not. Well, drop in the comment below if you're an Ioniq 5N owner, what you think about that. It's actually finished in gray, as you can see. The rest of the design actually follows pretty much the design language of the Ioniq facelift. So nothing much is different when it comes to the trunk. I like that there still is the handle right here, despite the automated tailgate. And there are 3 cameras on the Ioniq 5N line, just like the regular one. There is, of course, the rear wiper. That's something that we've always been waiting for, and 2 cameras. One on the right is for the digital center mirror. One on the left is for the built-in Cam 2, which is the onboard camera that will record what's going on front and rear of the car with the audio. And you can check all of that real time, also download it using the smartphone app. Everything is right there at your disposal. So let me show you a closer look of what I just told you about, the reflector right there. So that's what the bottom of the car looks like with the diffusers. And there are cameras right there, digital cam, digital center mirror, and the reverse camera right here. So that is the strip that I told you about. C-type cables. Tap on that, you will be only charging. Tap it one more time, you will be also transferring the data. And 12-volt outlet system right there. That's also the aluminum pedal, giant footrest, as well as foot brake and accelerator. And just look at that massive pixels. I love that. It is a bit less glossy. It's got the matte finish to it too, and goes along with the overall N-Line theme very well. What do you think? Let's check out what's underneath the hood, the frunk. I mean, it's not going to be all that much different, obviously, right? So you can also immediately tell that this car is a dual motor spec. You see smaller frunk on the front. That is a reason why. Nothing much has been changed, it seems like, when it comes to the frunk.